All right. I'm not gonna say this is gonna work for everybody, but this is what worked for me with the ATN 4K that I have, and so I came to the website here, and I went to firmware downloads. Now the scope that I have is the X-Sight 4K, and it was like freezing. It came with 511 on there, and it was freezing up. So I went in here and I had downloaded the firmware for 510. Don't do that. It didn't work. It wouldn't let me update it or any of that anyway. So what I did was I went to go factory restore. So I did that, downloaded the factory restore deal. Um, you let that thing set up, whatever. Install, blah 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 blah. Okay. Alright. So now that's on your desktop. So this video here for the factory store firmware ELF procedure. So if you go, this might be the ELF file itself. Let's see. Uh, let's see what that is. Uh, let's see. Excite. No. Okay. So what you want to do, like I said, is once you have the factory restore deal, that'll be on your desktop. So you'll want to click on this video right here, the one that says factory restoring ELF procedure. So click on that, go to YouTube, and then right here he has the Google Drive deal. So here is the ELF file for the 4K. So I've already done this on another computer, so we'll download it anyway, whatever. So go to downloads here, download, cut this, and I'll put it on my desktop. So there's that. And we'll put that on the desktop. So when you launch this software here, what you want to do is you'll click on expert right here, and then you'll have to put in the word obsidian, OBSIDIAN. Right? So there's that. So once you do that, you got to change this to file. So now it's looking for the ELF file, which you would find on in my case on my desktop, which is that ELF file here. Boom. So your scope would be connected via USB. When you do that, um, I can't remember if you got to turn the scope on or not. I know initially it's off, but when you plug it in, you hear the thing beep or whatever. This will turn blue. You update that, it's gonna reboot, and you let it do its reboot feature or whatever. At that point, you would follow that video and go into your settings and whatnot, and you'd go to a factory restore, so or factory reset or whatever. So when you do all that, you'll have to go through and select the scope you have and all that and put that in there. It's in the video. From that point on, you can watch the video. Do not update the firmware from whatever that 438, like, where is it at? We were looking at it. Oh, it's going to be right here. Is it this one? So when you get that, right, that 483, like once you do that, don't update the second step. Don't do the second step to where it's going to take you to like 510 or 511. It's going to be 510 because that's what's available on the website. Don't do that. Stay on this. So once you do this part here and you go in and you do the factory restore and you go and you select your scope and you do all that stuff, stay on that. Don't upgrade the firmware to anything other than what happens when you do this portion here. For me, that worked. If I update the firmware, it freezes up and whatnot. So like I hope that makes sense. So is this the video here? No. Uh, no, that's the buttons fixed. Blank freezing up. Yeah, so in the video, so it'll take you through that. Make sure you're watching that video. But there's a point where it yeah, like right in here, it's gonna tell you about uh, going in. This is the factory reset deal here. So you'll do that, then you'll have to come back in and put your device type in or whatever. Stay on that one that it gave you. Don't go any higher. For me, that's what's worked, and I'm no longer freezing and whatnot. It'll make sense once you watch this portion of the video. But the main thing is don't download the firmware. Go to When you go to firmware download, don't even put what you have. Go right to this one, ATN factory restore firmware setup, and then do the deal where you got to come in here, put in Obsidian, select that ELF file that's from the link in the video. Do all the things where you connect to the scope to the computer. Once you go in, do the factory restore. Excuse me, factory restore, and then select your scope and whatnot. Everything should be fine. If you have any problems, post that you had a question or whatever. But that's what's worked for me, and it's still working. So I hope it helps. Stay away from that newer firmware.